everybody. It is me, Demetra K, and I'm sitting here with Donovan throwing his rock and hiding his hand, Sadiq.
Now I'm going to throw some rocks.
I'm going to throw some rocks. He's going to try to throw me off kilter because he feels a certain type of way about the last segment.
Yeah, because black women are always trying to take over the damn show.
Nah, son. But see, okay, but anyway, let's get to it, okay?
Let's get to it.
I'm going to show you how a master acts.
Okay, there we go.
He takes the master's class.
Okay, there you go.
All right, so this is another edition of Don't Believe the Hype, where we ask you to go below the surface instead of what you've been taught on the surface to see if there's anything more that you can learn or debunk, if you will. And so today we are going to talk about K. Michelle, Jada Pinkett, and a couple other people I know personally, women I should say, who are having a hard time getting over him. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I'll start off with K. Michelle. In the last week or so, she did an interview. I forget who it was with.
Wait, for sure, who is K. Michelle?
K. Michelle. That's a good question because I barely know who she is, right? Mm-hmm. K. Michelle is an R&B singer who was on a couple seasons of Love and Hip Hop. And from that point, she happened into a singing career, which from some of the stuff I've heard, she's a pretty good singer. She was also in the news not too long ago in regards to her butt implants, saying how they have caused her some health issues, some very serious health issues to the tune of her having to get them removed. And so now she's back in the news because she was talking about her relationship with the very fine, very debonair. No, not you. Okay. But Idris Elba. Okay. And so she was in a way lamenting about the relationship that they had for 8 months and saying she was kind of upset with him, or hurt rather, that he didn't defend their relationship, because while they're in a relationship, she says for 8 months, people, and she named black women is what she was saying in her interview. Black women would say, oh, there's no way he's dating you because she's, you're ghetto, or she's too ghetto. Idris Elba wouldn't be with a woman like you, this, that, and the other. And while she was taking the heat on Twitter and social media and all this other stuff, he wouldn't defend it and say, hey, this is my woman. Yes, we're together and this, that, and the other. She also said during that 8 months that he ended up having a baby, or disclosed to her that his makeup artist, or some makeup artist, was pregnant by him.
Damn.
And so she was upset about that. Mm-hmm. So basically, he never really claimed her. And so that led to a lot of people thinking that she was lying. And so here we are. She's saying, oh, I'm upset because he didn't defend me even to this day. He would rather keep on with his good guy image, opposed to just saying, hey, yeah, we work together. And so a lot of people have taken K. Michelle to task, and like, okay, first of all, it was 8 months. Mm-hmm. Can you really call that a relationship? And that was in 2014. And so why are you 4 years later still on this page talking about Idris Elba? Is it because you're trying to be relevant? Like, what is the situation here? And so just kind of, listening her or reading the interview rather, it sounds like she's having a hard time getting over him. I mean, and I looked up her net worth. It says she's worth about $1.5 million or so. So, I mean, it's not nothing to sneeze at. It's money. But, their ex-relationship or whatever. Mm-hmm. Then you have Jada Pinkett, who was on, I guess it was a commercial for her Red Table Talk with her mother, her daughter, and Will Smith.
I want to see her on the butcher's block.
Well, no, you got to go to Janet Hubert's show for that one, okay?
Okay.
But they were, during this commercial, Will disclosed to Willow, their daughter, that there was a time in their marriage that Jada, her mom, cried for 45 days straight due to their failing marriage or whatever was going on bad in their marriage.
Didn't they have an open relationship?
I guess it kind of sounds like they do, although it doesn't really seem like they just come out and said, hey, we have an open relationship, although it's been alluded to. And then, so he says, yeah, your mom cried for 45 days straight, and she says there were some days you missed, And so I'm thinking, damn, 45 days you crying over? I mean, I guess it's Will Smith. To some people, that's a cat's meow. Some people's not.
Hell no.
But at what point in time do you just say, okay, it's going on 45 days plus. I've been crying over this nonsense, whatever's going on in a relationship. Maybe I need to leave. Maybe I need to, do something different. And then there's this other case that came to me. The lady in this relationship, she is in a new relationship. She just got out of a relationship a couple weeks ago. Now she's in this new relationship with this new guy. She texts him, hey, how you doing? Good morning, whatever. And then 3 days later, he'll text her back.
Okay.
And it won't even be a full conversation. It'll just be like an emoji or something. And I'm thinking, why are you in the dark as to who you are to this guy? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The same thing with K. Michelle's like, why were you in the dark to who you were to this guy? I mean, you guys were in a relationship 8 months. I'm not saying 8 months is not a long time. I mean, 8 months, you can do a lot with 8 months, but to this moment, he still hasn't claimed you. You're confused or hurt by it. Why haven't you realized who you were to him? Mm-hmm. I don't really know what's going on with Jada's situation, because I guess the show hasn't aired yet, but it's like somebody in a relationship with somebody who would cause you to cry for 45 days straight. Plus, are you confused who you are to this guy? And then the girl who's, in this texting situation, why are you confused as to who you are with him? And in that relationship, or that situation, I should say, she says, when he does call her, it's at 5 a.m. or it's at late at night.
Booty call time.
And I'm like, well, Ray Charles can see that he's probably married or has a woman somewhere, and he's probably calling you at 5 a.m. on his way to work, or calling you at night on his way from work, and he doesn't respond because he can't. Okay. And so I guess to me, the common thread is a lack of self-esteem. I don't care what anybody says. If you are holding on to somebody who does not want to hold on to you, or hold on to you in the right way, that is a lack of self-esteem. Why would you want to be with somebody who is kind of showing you kind of, sort of, that I want to be with you? You know what? Yeah, it's been 3 days. She texts me. I'm going to text her back. Well,
the thing is, does he want to be with you, or does he want to be with your sex?
Well, that's another thing. Are you giving this dude the cookie, right? To clean it up? Are you giving him that, and then not really realizing, like you said, that's all he really wanted? Are you even in a relationship? Because a lot of people don't define that. Are you really in a relationship? Can you really say you're in a relationship with somebody for 8 months who has disclosed to you, hey, baby, by the way, I just had a baby, and no, it ain't by you, Or
meet me at the Denny's.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, you say you're in a relationship with somebody who texts you back 3 days later, and when they do, it's an emoji. Not, hey, baby, I've been thinking about you. Sorry, I was working late. Oh my gosh, I just saw your text. It's a heart or something. It's like, well, what the hell does that mean? So it's like, why are you confused? Is that really a relationship, or is that just something that happened, or something that person is doing while passing time with you? And the other issue is, why are you having a hard time with closure? Listen, I say this all the time. I never give advice that I've never experienced myself.
Trust me, we know.
I've been in relationships that I had a hard time with closure.
Okay, wait. Are you talking about you in Thailand?
Yes. Well, it's Thailand. Stop scratching me up. Then we can go there. But no, I mean, I've been there to where I've had a hard time with closure, and then you have to ask yourself why. Mm-hmm. Because a lot of times when people are looking for closure, they want that person that's hurt them, obviously the person that's hurt them, they want that person to tell them something that you haven't, tell me something you haven't told me before. Mm-hmm. I just want to know why. Why me? Or why not me? Well, how come this, that, and the other? Remember that one day when I saw you do this? Well, were you really talking to her? Or just tell me that one thing that's just going to help me get over you. That's never going to come.
The funny thing is that you say that is, in my relationships, the bitch just wanted me to go. You know what I mean?
I don't blame her.
She's like, see why. I didn't get no call back, no nothing. The bitch is like, just go.
Well, I mean.
and then I find out she with another dude right there.
Did you want closure? Was closure important to you?
Yeah, it was.
Okay, well, so what were you looking for in regards to closure?
Well, it's like the Ike Turner thing. You ain't leaving me.
That's something else. Yeah. That's not closure,
right?
Okay, that's called kidnapping.
Yeah,
right.
So no, I'm just saying. I just know. And my thing is, when I'm gone, I'm gone. That was it. I'm done. So.
Right, but some people have a hard time getting to the when I'm gone, I'm gone.
Right.
Because and again, I'm speaking from experience of been there and done that. I mean, I'm in a great relationship now, but if I wasn't and I was entertaining somebody who was doing those things to me, not texting me back, not claiming me out in public, or having me crying for 45 days, ain't no way in hell. I'm not going to entertain that type of person. First of all, because you sound like a clown. You sound like somebody who is already entertaining somebody else, and I'm just getting the leftovers.
Now, let me ask you this question, since you interrupted my
Oh, baby, like I said, this is the master class. Okay. Go right ahead.
All right. Because you rattled me anyway. But, in certain situations, certain career field, cause it's like me being a air crew and in the Air Force, or in the military, you're on the road a lot.
Correct.
And because you're on the road a lot, shouldn't that be a warning sign to some women? Like if you get like a certain guy, like the rumor with most pilots is where they're divorced 2-3 times,
right?
Because they're never home. So I mean, if you met a person and he says I'm in this career field, the statistically chances of you guys.
I will just say this, speaking from my experience, I'm going to dig in my bag of experience for y'all pleasure today. I was married to a truck driver, and it's just me.
Okay.
Don't take my advice. I will warn anybody to look very, very closely with a fine magnifying glass. Go through it with a fine-tooth comb before you get into a relationship with a truck driver. I'm just speaking from my experience.
Why is
because
that?
They are never, ever faithful. It is true. In my experience, that they got one in every state, probably one in every city.
Okay.
And I don't know. I was going to say, I don't know if I can blame them. The only thing I could put the blame on the truck driver or people like the truck driver, in your case, a pilot, people who are gone. I put the blame on them is because they're not being true to themselves. Good and hell well, you want a variety of life. And probably, because I had an older gentleman tell me this years and years ago when I was younger, that a man is as faithful as his options. And so being somebody in a truck driving position or a pilot position, somebody who's away from home a lot.
Military. Right,
if they have options or a lot of women around, at first they're probably going to say, no, baby, no.
Yeah, I got mine.
I got mine at home, but Betty's waiting at home, and she's so good to me. But after a while, it was like, well, shit, I ain't been home in 30 days. Brother got needs.
Flesh is weak, right?
I'm just going out for lunch with her, and then lunch turns. So I get it. But the problem that I have with a person like a truck driver, and I just want to say this, that in my situation when my ex, who was a truck driver, did his thing and we broke up, he was married after that, and they ain't together. And I'm quite sure.
Wait, he got married after you?
Yeah, got remarried, and I'm quite sure it was the same stuff he was doing to me. So I would just like to say that to anybody who was going through that or been through that. Don't feel bad like it was me. What did I do? It's something. It's not you. It was always them. But I would say this to the truck driver or anybody who has a occupation like that. Don't lie to kick it. Just say, listen, I'm not trying to settle down, if you will, with nobody. I like to play the field. And if you don't mind, when I run through California, can I hang out with you? Some women will say, yeah.
Yeah, some women.
Just say it like just keep it real. Keep it real.
So
I want a woman, but I don't want to be with just one woman.
So let me ask you this: you're a intelligent woman.
That's what they tell me. Sometimes I beg to differ.
And you had life experience. You've been there, done that. But you still felt prey to a slick talking.
I did. I mean, I ain't got a lie to kick it to y'all. I wouldn't say prey because prey sounds like I was totally innocent. Not that I did anything, but I ignored a lot of red flags. I just did.
You just give us some examples if you don't mind.
Just stuff like you not answering your phone.
You're
he's
on the road and his check doesn't come through.
The check don't come through. But even before we got to that point, the point of, you missing in action, it can't find you. Or, I'm calling you for 2 or 3 days at a time. And, God, I was in an area where there was no signal. All that other stuff. Just, there's things that you see. Or when you ask them about who they've been with and their past relationship is vague. And anytime I tell y'all this, ladies, and not even just ladies, but anybody. Anytime somebody tells you about their past relationships and it was always all those people's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, that person, this bitch, he just. That's when you're going to have to look at them with the side eye and be like, you didn't have nothing to do with the demise of those relationships. Nothing. It was never you, one time.
The common denominator is always him.
Yeah, but that person was always that person. or they're vague about their past relationships, that's a red flag.
Well, I mean, you say excuses, like when they say they're going to the Texas Stadium on Sunday.
No.
You know, even though it's not football season.
I ain't got those problems with my man.
Right. You're messing with it.
I'm messing with it. I pack a deadly punch.
Right. Okay? No, I'm just messing with it. I'm messing with it right now.
No, I mean, but
you finally got a good one.
Golly. So. I had to, all them frogs.
Yeah, I'm telling you, got you a Southern gentleman. Yes. You're doing all right.
And so, but, yeah, you know, it's just, you gotta, we always talk about, just gotta ask a lot of questions. And, you know, people aren't going to give you the closure that you're looking for. They're just not going to. The closure has to be with you. You have to finally make a decision and say, you know what? That SOB, so-and-so, whatever the case is, get your good cry out, talk to your friends. But then you got to come to a point where you say, you know what? Enough.
I'm done crying.
I'm done crying. I'm going to move on. I'm finally going to realize and accept that person was not for me. No matter how good I was to that person, they weren't good to me.
Exactly.
It has to be a two-way street. You have to be good to me as well. They're never, ever, 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 ever going to give you the answer you're looking for to make it all go away. Somebody once told me when I was going through that with my ex.
Yeah, I think I told you this. Go ahead.
It was actually a relative of his said, you know what? You're going to have to let it burn. And I was like, what does that mean?
Let it burn.
No, not that let it burn.
Okay, gotcha.
Not the Usher let it burn.
What about the waiting to exhale, let it burn?
No, not
Took
that.
all the clothes, put it in the car.
Because he was. I think he was trying to warn me before I got to that point.
Gotcha.
That what it means to let it burn is don't try to stave off the pain. It is a very painful thing to lose a relationship to whatever it is. You know what I mean? Unless you're the one that's doing the letting go, but you probably went through a lot of stuff before you let the relationship go. But if you're on a receiving end of somebody treating you bad, let the process do what it's going to do. Let it hurt. Let it burn. Cry. And get it out of your system. But stop going back.
Right. Because out of the ashes, you can rise like a phoenix.
Yes. Stop going back to the pain. Stop going back to looking for closure. I just need to find out one last time.
Well, why didn't you tell me this earlier?
Well, you didn't ask.
It's been like 6. I've been divorced for 8 years now? 7 years?
It's time.
It's time.
Let it go. Okay?
It's time.
Stop going back to the things that hurt you. Because more than likely, if that person hurt you, I'm just speaking from my experience, that person was a liar. They were never going to tell the truth. And they ain't going to tell you the truth now. They ain't going to say, well, now that we ain't together, let me tell you all the stuff I did.
Wait, what was that your ex had said? Bitch, then fuck you then.
I mean, yeah, he said a whole lot of choice words because I wouldn't go back to him.
Right.
You know, when you lose a good thing, you're trying to get it back. I don't blame the brother, but I told him, I said, listen, I know what I'm getting back into. I know you have not changed. You have your desire to change right now because you can't get what you want. But I know what I'm signing up for. I know what I'm going to be going back to, and it's going to be more of the same. So I'm good. Thank you.
Right.
But that came when I gave myself permission to close off the past. There's nothing in me that desires. This is going to sound real mean, and I hope one day he doesn't ever listen to the show. And if he does, I don't give a shit. But if somebody were to call me and say, well, you know, he passed away, I'd be like, really, what's for dinner?
Right.
I mean, that's just how closed off the situation is to me. I wouldn't even feel like no ways about it at all.
Yeah, that's how my exes feel about me.
Damn, what kind of SOB was you?
What do you mean? I've read the book of Ike. That's what happens when you read the book of Ike.
Obviously, the book of Ike didn't work.
Well, no, it worked, but it didn't work to my favor.
Read the revised version.
Yeah, it didn't work to my favor, but...
Right, maybe you wasn't doing it right.
Well, they are successful black women out there now.
Without me. Right. Without me. Okay.
I don't mean to joke about it. No, seriously.
No, I mean, it is what it is.
You know what I mean? Because, people don't realize this. Affairs of the heart, that's a very sensitive thing.
No, I mean, listen. I almost called him something else, but I'm really, really trying to clean up my vocabulary.
Yes, please.
But, I mean, I could say, y'all think I'm joking. He had women everywhere. I'm like, you, huh? What? I didn't even know there was a such thing as a Willacoochee, Georgia. You got one off in there? I mean, I'm just saying. So it's like, there was women everywhere. And thank God Almighty.
This brother was from where?
Me. Illinois. And I want to say this to Chicago brothers, y'all something else. Y'all
Chicago.
something else. That's all I'm saying about that, okay? But I thank God that this fool didn't give me nothing.
Well,
you know?
Yeah, well, can I ask you this?
Yeah.
How did you guys, what, was he good at game or was his rap strong?
It's a couple of things.
What was it?
I like I said, I don't want to lie to kick it. It's a couple of things because it'd be easy for me to say, oh yeah, he lied to me. He told me this and he told me was that. But I mean, some of that was on me too.
Did you verify?
No.
You didn't verify?
I mean, because that comes from, I obviously I had some sort of low self-esteem. I didn't know my worth like I do now. So that's how, it's a combination of things. It's not what he just... Girl, he lied to me. He told me this and he told me that. It comes out that he wasn't nothing. Nah, because you know what? Part of you wanted to believe that because you wanted a man so bad. To where you wanted to believe that he was really a pharmacist but he left off the street pharmacist. You know, or he told you he had one kid, but then you find out he got 5 kids. You wanted to believe those things.
Right.
And so it's a combination of things, both. And I'm not saying high self-esteem is the antidote for everything, but it sure would solve a lot of problems right from the gate if you had a healthy self-esteem and knew your worth. Because when you don't know your worth, not anybody can grace your presence. You're not going to let anybody... You know, people, like you say, you joke a lot about, you know, us, especially black women, calling ourselves queens. And for you guys, that's the trash man outside of the studio here. But a lot of us call ourselves queens, but you think about the true nature of a queen ain't entertaining no clowns. She ain't entertaining no gestures. She ain't letting just the court fool just come up in her bedroom or even sit at the table with her. After he get done entertaining her, she's like...
No wonder I've been single for 8 years.
Because you a clown?
Yeah, they treat me like a clown.
Sorry. And research the nature and the characteristics of a king or queen and see what it is that they do and they don't do, what they allow and what they don't allow. And a lot of them do not allow just any old body.
That's why I'm a king.
Right. Well, hell, you know, but if the king is not just surrounding himself with any old body, you are vetting these people. You're supposed to be. That's why they call it in a relationship taking it to court. Okay, you say you're all of that and you do this and you're upstanding and all this other stuff. Well, let's see. Let's you know, date a while before we get horizontal.
Yes, let's do the Ronald Reagan thing. I trust you, but I just want to verify.
I want to see if you're going to be consistent. If when I text you or I call you, you're going to text me back in a timely fashion. It's not going to be 24 hours, 2 days, 3 days, and you coming with all these, I didn't have no service. You text me, I didn't get your text. Okay, you didn't get my text. You didn't think I was wanting to hear from you in 3 days.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta vet these people.
Right. You know, and be honest, like I said, if you got a throwback guy, he doesn't have no phone, that's different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But everybody usually has a phone. But, you know what I'm saying?
In those cases, but even then...
You can go to a library, email.
Remember? I want to get next to you.
Yes.
What was he on? He was on the payphone.
On the payphone, right.
So even a man that don't have a cell phone or a pager...
Oh my God, you could ask anybody with a phone, say, can I use your phone real quick? And they'll dial the number up and get to you.
If that man really wanted to talk to you, that's because he's really into you. He will string 2 cans together.
Let me ask
he
you.
will get a pigeon with a note on his foot, and he would make sure that the woman that he loves and is trying to get to know, whatever the case.
Self-esteem is a hard thing, and and it's kind of hard to keep it up and down and things like that. But why do you think it is that the women fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
It's just, a lot of us is just loneliness. We're looking to fill the void, and a lot of times we mistake the feel good, whatever that is, sex, or somebody's, showing you attention, regardless of what it is. We mistake that for the real thing. The real thing should be somebody who is consistent, somebody who really cares about you, somebody who is calling to check on you. I know I'm really busy, but I'm just calling to say, hey, I love you. I'm thinking about you. I'm free this weekend. You want to get together. Okay. Think of somewhere you want to eat. Get on your best dress, baby. All that stuff. That's the real thing. Somebody who is, as my best friend's mom always says, I can show you better than I can tell you. Somebody who is putting in the work, not just the lip service, because again, the other side of that is, well, I want to hear, you saying all the right things. I've been waiting to hear all these things.
You know, the
but then you ain't doing none of those things.
Right. Well, the funny thing is a lot of, and I can only speak, you know, in my experience and what I've observed with my family members and stuff. It seems to me that everybody gets physical before they get relationship wise.
Yeah.
It's more of a physical thing than it is.
Yeah, I think a lot of that is just, I think it is, a lot of it is loneliness. I just want I miss the feel of a body next to me, somebody touching me, somebody holding me.
Okay, that's one thing, but they're not even doing that. They're just banging and having babies, and that's...
Well, I don't think that was the planned or the intended result, but that's what happens. And then, as we talk about a lot, you end up with somebody, you end up connected to somebody for the rest of your life, or at least 18 years that you didn't even think that far.
Well, whenever I talk to young girls and, you know, that have babies or whatever, they say that, well, I was just kicking it or whatever. And, you know, even if they had a boyfriend, the guy, he didn't even court him.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like she was paying.
But to that point, a lot of girls or women don't even know what the courting process is. Right. They think it's, hey, baby, you cute. Ooh, let me get your number so we could text. I've had some guys tell me, oh, let me get your number so we could text. Boo, I'm in my 40s. What do I look like texting you? Well, we can't talk. I mean, this is obviously before I was in a relationship, but what? Text? I'm a fully grown woman. I want to talk to you because you can tell me anything over text. But I want to talk to you. I want to hear how you sound when you're saying what you're saying. All that text and stuff, I'll leave that for the young girls. But no, I'm a fully grown woman. I need to talk to you.
Talk to you, right?
I'm not saying text is not cool every once in a while, but I talk to my man more than we text.
Right.
So I prefer it that way. I know he prefers it that way, but this whole new we texting, what kind of mess is that?
I don't know, but like I said, a lot of these young girls fall for the banana in the tailpipe. And then, you know, how many examples do we see where this same girl, she come from a 2-family home, whatever, you know, baby, or her heart is broken and she's crying. And then what kills me is they're crying over nothing, especially when they got their shit together.
I don't think they're crying over nothing because it's not nothing to them.
Right,
and I'm just speaking from experience. It wasn't nothing to me. It's because you really had your heart set in that relationship, in that person. You wanted, in your mind, it was going to work, even though you saw some red flags, even though maybe people said, are you sure that's what you want to do? You're going to make it work because I love him. And not just I love him, but I'm trying to help him get on his feet. I'm trying to help him I'm just telling you I'm trying to help him be a better man. I'm trying to be that woman to him that all the other women he told me about wasn't to him, because, you know, he told me his baby mama over here wasn't this, and this baby mama and this last chick he was with, she was doing this, that. Oh, well, you know what? Don't worry. I got it, boo. I'm going to be everything she wasn't. And so when you find out later on down the road that no matter who you were to him, he was never going to be good. He was never going to be a good man to you. Right.
Gosh, you know, like I said, you know, because it seems like to me, a lot of the good women, they get in these, you know, bad relationships or whatever, and then they become stunted, you know, from that.
Yeah, I mean, it leaves scars, but that's what I'm saying. You're going to continue to scar over unless you give yourself closure. Give yourself permission. Why are you looking for validation and permission from the person who hurt you? They don't give a damn about you. Right. I don't care no matter what they say. They don't give a damn about you because you don't hurt people you care about. Even if that person, you know, found somebody else they want to be with, they're going to at least be man enough to say, baby, as much as I love you, I love her more. I know this is going to hurt you, but I'd rather you hear from me, or whatever the case is, than you get hurt by finding out a different way. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know.
Well, my ex, like I said, when we went our separate ways and it was done, hadn't spoke to her since.
Yeah, that's me too. I my exes, I've never gone back. As my brother has a saying, he always says, "Don't go back to the throw up."
Yeah,
you know, and a lot of people do that. Envision that grotesque scenario. You just threw something up. You expelled it from your body. You got rid of it. You separated yourself from the throw up, and then you're gonna go back and lick it up, and then going back to the throw up and says, "Well, I know you. I probably threw you up because you were bad for me. Well, I want to put it back in and see if it's going to do something different. If it's going to give me some nutrients."
Right. You know, because the funny thing is my ex, you know, she would call me and be like, "Oh, could you come see me?" And I'd be like, "No."
Or what?
Yeah, no. You know, you left.
Why do I need to deceitful.
Right. I didn't throw you out. You left this relation. You left the relationship. So, either you're going to come back or it is what it is.
And in some cases, like, I don't want you to come back.
Right.
Because when you left, I found my peace.
Mm-hmm.
I found that when me and you were together, I was not at peace. My mind was just all over the place. And so I'm glad that you're gone. I wish that it would have worked, but since it did not, I get to move on.
Well, you're a witness. Remember my old, what's her name? Laura Ann. I mean, I was just...
God, yeah, every day.
It changed me, didn't it?
God, Lee, you was going through it.
Yeah.
And I don't tell people to leave their significant other, but I was like, maybe you need to revisit this relationship.
I was just done. And it wasn't more, like I said, I take 50% in what I do because I have my idiosyncrasies, but my thing was, and let's just put it out there, I'm dating this girl and my space started being crowded. And I had a problem with that.
Yeah, every time I saw you, you had angst all over your body and your work. You were just like, you were stressed out.
Right.
And I was like, golly.
And
it's amazing that another person can do that to you and you allow them to do that to you.
Exactly. And, and I was stressed out because, again, I was getting, my space was getting cramped. And then she was putting demands on me that,
unrealistic, that she wasn't even doing herself.
Right. I mean, it's just like, it's not my job to maintain your nails. It's not my job to maintain your hair. It's not my job to, and then, like a lot of women, well, I don't, excuse my language, I don't pay for pussy. I never have.
In a way, you roundabout kind of
yeah, you do, but I'm just saying,
that.
Out right here, because if we're playing those games, then when I want it, and I want it the way you're going to do it the way I tell you to do it.
Yeah, chandelier over there, baby.
Right, exactly. You're going to do it the way that I want to do it. To a point to where I never thought
it was making you somebody you did not want to be.
And don't get me wrong, I don't mind somebody coming over every now and then, but when you're practically living at my house and I didn't invite you.
Well, I think the other issue for you, because I knew your situation well,
you were there.
Is that you weren't that into her.
Yeah.
Because if that was going to be Mrs. Sadiq,
right,
then you wouldn't have. You'd be like, baby, where you go?
Yeah, you don't have to leave.
Why you leaving?
Right.
But
I know you got to feed the kids, but wait.
Yeah, right. But you didn't. I think that's where you need to be honest. Right. You weren't that into her either. It was somebody that you were just fooling around with every once in a while. I mean, she was a little bit more than that. Yeah.
But, but the thing is, though, you haven't
given her the title.
Well, exactly. Well, the thing is, I was evaluating her, too. But I can't evaluate you if you're laying up in my crib. I'm retired. You're supposed to have a job.
Well, listen, I can't speak for you, but if you're retired and she's not, don't be sucking out the resources,
right?
That you ain't replenishing those resources.
Exactly.
And even if you are using my resources, don't use them all.
Right. And
I want you to have some common sense,
right? And then another thing that really bothered me with her was she was telling people stuff about like how terrible I am, or whatever the thing was. And I know people says, well, you're just telling your side. She was saying stuff that was totally not
true. But she never told that you helped her in a lot of ways.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, I know some people say, well, you should do that. Now, if Dee right now, I've known Dee for 30 years, if she asked me for a loan, I am going to treat her no different than I would treat anybody else.
Put that in writing?
Yeah. No, seriously. Seriously. Because remember I told you, I'm going to go. You want a loan? Oh, sure. You sign this right here because I want to make sure I get my money back.
No, Donovan is going to have you sign the paper, the contract.
I want to see your ID.
Your ID, your mama's ID, your daddy, birth, place of birth.
Yeah, I need some DNA.
Social Security.
Yes.
Number, and your panty size.
Yes.
Why, I don't know, but I think I saw that on there.
Just in case. And your bra size too. Good. But that's how I conduct my business. And, she got offended by that. And I'm just thinking, wait a minute here. I got to protect myself.
That's because she's used to being with dudes. Because she was a good-looking woman.
She was very good-looking.
No homo, but she was a good-looking woman. And so she's probably used to dudes like, how much, baby, you need? Yeah. Shit, you got a fat ass. Ooh, girl, you this, that, and the other. And she never meant them any good either. So she just was one of those women just moved from dude to dude. And then when she got to you and she was appalled that you wanted her to sign.
Right. And I remember you were telling me that too. You're like, how dare you insult her like that?
But that's probably where she was coming from. But it's like, lady, we've been together for a little bit and you want this kind of money. Yeah, I'm going to need you to sign on the dotted line. If you're intending on giving it back, what's the problem?
Right, exactly. And sure enough, what did I have to do?
You sue her ass?
I took her to court. I had to take her to court to get my money because she thought it was over. I'm done. I'll just walk away. No, I want my money.
Right.
I mean, I don't pay for pussy.
Since you brought your situation up, and, I would give myself the same advice before you jump in the sack with a big old booty. make sure that's, down the line you will want that to be Mrs. Sadiq.
Well, like I said, I've been trying to give it your sister for 30 years, and like she can have it all. I can be the side dude. I told you, I'm cool with that.
That ain't gonna work. You don't want to be no side dude.
No, it'll be all right.
And especially in the side. Now, I've never been a side piece. Knock on wood. Mm-hmm. Never been the side piece, and never will be the side piece.
Right.
But the side piece eventually gonna want to be the main piece.
No. As long as she comes out here for the summertime,
that's
we're
what they
good.
all say. I'm talking to quite a few side pieces who at first, and now we just chilling, we just doing our thing. Shoot, I'm glad he go home to his wife because then that way we just go do our thing, and I ain't got to worry about the bills and my kids and all that. But then once down the road, it's like, I called his wife and told her that.
I will say this
because he needs to be with me for Christmas.
I will say this. Your sister has a good dude. He pays the bills and does what he's supposed to do. We need to keep him.
We need to keep
him, baby. So we gonna keep that brother over there. So no. But like I said, a good woman is hard to find, and if you know you're a good woman,
is she? Is a good woman hard to find?
It is. It really is. It really is. I mean, you're talking about what does the Bible say? You want somebody evenly yoked, and I'm not saying a woman has to be evenly yoked with me because that my role is to be a provider. That as a man, that's my role.
Okay.
So she doesn't necessarily have to be that, but like yourself, you're educated, you're a hustler, you do your thing, you're good looking, you keep yourself up. Blah, blah, blah.
I try.
You know what I mean? But you got a good dude. I mean, you guys are a good match. I mean, Al got him a good thing.
You know what I think it is? Because I have people ask me that a lot, and I like, wow, I didn't know that I was an example for a good relationship. I just say this: let people be. I don't eat meat. I know y'all can't tell by looking at me, but I don't eat meat.
That's genetics right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
eat
meat. And the camera does put about 10 pounds on you, 15, 20 nowadays with the new technology. But
I can slim it down for you.
Okay, could you please?
Yes.
I don't eat meat. He does. There's certain things he does I don't do.
Right.
And so I don't hold it against him. Am I more concerned about, now if he was a mass murderer or something like that, and we had, but am I going to let a good man go because he eat meat? Oh, that's so disgusting. Right. I would never be with a man who eats meat. Yeah. I mean,
right.
Am I going to let a good man go because I'm tripping?
Well, you have a lot of women out there that won't even get with a man because he's not 6 feet tall. Totally ridiculous. This is going to sound kind of shallow and maybe contradicting on my behalf too, but don't be with nobody who's not for you. Right.
If you don't want to be with a man who's 3 feet tall, well, shit, don't be with a man who's 3 feet tall. I don't want to be with a man who's 3 feet tall. He ain't got to be 6 feet either, but I'm saying certain people have preferences, and if that's what you like, don't settle.
Right.
Now, if you asking somebody to be something you're not, then that's a different story.
Right.
Some men don't want a woman with a big giant ass.
Me.
I'm just saying. And some men don't want a woman with a flat ass.
And I don't want a woman with a weave. I want a real woman.
Yeah. So if you got people saying, well, you need to settle and everybody's not perfect. Well, you go find that woman with the weave and all that. That's not who I'm looking for because, like my dad always says, be true to yourself. And if being true to yourself is a woman with natural hair and the nice shape and all that, whatever, then go pursue that. There's no, don't feel guilt about that.
Right. But, for those women out there that, at the end of the day, I guess I would get out of this discussion here is, your self-esteem. Bring your self-esteem up. I mean, love yourself.
How do you do that? How do you work on your self-esteem? Well, I'm glad you asked me.
Yes.
That is by getting to know yourself. Because a lot of people, I know that sounds cliche, but a lot of people don't even know themselves. Like, what does D really like? What type of man would really make me happy? What does he need to be? Who does he need to be? Who am I? Am I bringing those things to the situation or the relationship? Have I been single long enough to even know who I... Because a lot of people, and I was one of those people who jumped in one relationship to another, to another, to another. Before I got with my man, I was single for 3 years.
Right.
And so that gave me plenty of time to get to like myself. Like, wow, I'm a pretty cool person. But I would never get to know that because I was always with somebody who was clouding my judgment of myself.
Right.
So get some knowledge of self. Tell yourself, I'm beautiful. I'm worthy. I'm deserving. I would only be with this type of person who's going to treat me this way.
How about this advice? Stop forcing the issue and trying to find a man. Let the Lord lead you.
Because those of you guys who ascribe to the teachings of the Bible, it says a man finds a wife.
Woman, right.
Don't fall. And I'm just giving you from my experience. You can do what you want. To me, It's just, to me, it's improper for a woman to chase after a man. By nature, men are the pursuers. They should be. We talk about this a lot. As a woman, if there's a way to let a man know you're interested, you know, you can wear something nice or bat your eye a little bit, or, hey, how you doing, big daddy, whatever, however you want to address him. But as far as, ooh, what's your number, baby? What your sign is? What your name is? Ooh, good. I know I got to have you. I mean, a lot of dudes will find that they might think that's cool for one night.
Right.
You know, exactly. I toss you up, but as far as you being my woman, because it's always probably going to be that way.
You ain't wifey material.
You're going to be alpha in a relationship. You always going to be the pursuing and the subduing. And I don't want to be pursued and subdued. Now, of course, as a man, you want to feel wanted. That's a different story. I'm talking about women going out there and putting the fishing line out
and dragging you in there.
Right, or hitting you over the head with a club.
Yeah,
You know, but yeah, you're right. When a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. But when that man is looking, make sure you're available. Make sure you are that good wife or good woman that he's looking for.
Absolutely.
And you do that by working on yourself.
All right. So what are the takes on the Demetria K show this weekend?
I don't know. Maybe not. If we do it.
Well, here's the thing. If we don't do it, the Demetria K show will go on as planned. Yes, I will sit in the seat and I will be dropping the tea.
All right.
You know,
the knowledge.
Yes, the knowledge.
We don't do tea.
We don't do tea. Okay.
I don't think we do.
Well, I'm going to be dropping the knowledge. But for those of you guys that do tune into her show last week, it was a great show. The YouTube video is up as well, so you guys check that out with the bells and whistles, because you actually get to see the video of the woman that made the allegations of the kid. I mean, you look at her, you could be like, oh no, you just do a Trump. No, not her.
I thought it was a man, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. So check it out. We're putting all this stuff out there. We are expanding in different locations. And ladies, again, I mean, Dee's not an expert, but she has a lot of life experience, and she's been there, done that. She's just sharing her experience.
Work on yourself. Listen, if you don't love yourself, nobody else is going to love you. There's, and we got a minute. I watched this documentary on Netflix about Christian Louboutin. The guy with the red bottoms. And he got ladies, those who can afford my shoe and want my shoe will get my shoe. I don't have a problem selling this shoe. It's the most coveted shoe in the world as far as women. And at the end of this video or the documentary, he kisses himself. He goes, you know what? I don't know. I just love me. And he's, I just love me. And it's like, gosh, but he's built an empire because he loves himself. Absolutely. Imagine what you can build with a good man if you loved yourself. And
Mr. Wonderful will be here.
Friday.
Friday night?
Friday night.
Like 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
Wow, that's going on the late one because he's working that day.
Yes.
Look at that. Her man is working and still coming in the same day. So that's a good brother there. So, because most brothers be like, well, I'll just take the day off.
Right.
Just do other thing. All right, you guys, that's D dropping some knowledge, like I said, don't believe the hype. We got some more stuff coming on a little bit later. I'm going to come back on later, and I'm going to talk about a certain candidate that I want to get out there and get that information out there. Unobstructed, no. And get that out there as soon as possible for you guys to talk about, because what I'm going to talk about is actually the political, what's going on in our political realm here in the city of Moreno Valley, which is very important. So we'll see you guys again next week. Take it easy, and D, I shot the sheriff.